I guess I wanted just to start off with our mantra. If all you do is clean up, that's all you'll ever do. So my name is Heidi Tait. I'm the CEO and the founder of Tangaroa Blue Foundation. We're an Australian-wide not-for-profit that's focused on the removal and the prevention of marine debris and plastic pollution that's impacting both our saltwater and our freshwater ecosystems. We coordinate a program called the Australian Marine Debris Initiative, known as the AMD for short. It's a national network of community, industry, government, academia, citizen scientists all out there who are collaborating on a science-driven program that focuses on solutions to address what is becoming one of the world's or the planet's biggest issues, plastics in our oceans. In 2024, we are celebrating our 20th year, so we're doing a lot of partying this year. Our AMD database has just reached over 27 million data points across 4,500 sites in Australia. And the data has been used in government decision-making processes, such as the National Plastics Plan, state plastics plans and bans and so forth, as well as community-driven campaigns and industry ESG reporting as well. It's the biggest marine debris database in the Southern Hemisphere and one of the biggest ones in the world, which we're very proud of. And it really shows the collaboration of partners to be able to build a database like that. To maximise nature-positive outcomes, we believe that the AMD network provides a platform where we can all compete together rather than competing against each other. And this maximises each of our partners' strengths and expertise. It helps reduce that duplication and wastage of resources, and that's to the benefit of our planet. And it also means we can be secure in our supply chains, highlighting general environmental duty, state of knowledge and best practice, and that avoids issues around greenwashing and non-alignment of core organisational values and ESG goals throughout our supply chain. One of our AMD source reduction programs and one of our AMD collaborations is called Operation Clean Sweep, which I mentioned just before. So Operation Clean Sweep is an industry best practice program. It was designed by the US plastics industry in 1992, and it's now rolled out in over 60 countries around the world. In Australia, it is very unique because the co-licensees of Operation Clean Sweep are both the plastics industry through Chemistry Australia and Tangaroa Blue Foundation, and nowhere else in the world is an NGO part of the licensee of the program, and we believe that that gives it a bit more credibility than just the plastics industry saying that they're not polluting feedstock. We have some robust accountability in that framework as well. So it looks at reducing loss during the supply, the loading and unloading, the manufacturing, and now even more so the recycling, which is becoming a bigger component. Now we can't send our waste to a third world country. And it basically highlights good housekeeping across the entire plastics value chain and addresses both spills and the day-to-day trickle effect of plastic feedstock loss. And when we talk about feedstock loss, we're talking not only about raw plastic resin pellets, we're talking about powder and flake and recyclate and chip and all of those different types of feedstocks. So to date, we have more than 120 plastic industry members on board and a number of the big industry associations as well. We have the raw plastic suppliers like Dow, BASF and LyondellBasell. Their logistics partners, Cube and Toll, have come on board as well, and manufacturing partners like B&C Plastics and Megara. And all of these partners have committed to zero plastic feedstock loss through their operations. So this connection of supply chains really allows clear roles and responsibilities to be identified to reduce the loss and who's responsible for cleaning up spills before they become pollution. And we know that spills will always occur from a day-to-day basis, but it's when those spills escape a premises, it becomes pollution. And adoption of the program by recyclers is critical as we see that sector continue to increase. The program also connects brands and agencies because procurement policies can include Operation Clean Sweep compliance as part of procurement. And we have the New South Wales EPA and the Victorian EPA who are both on board with this program now, and it shows that there is a shift of focus from regulators as well. Our second thing we wanted to talk about was greenwashing, which is also becoming rife, and we're seeing that that's eroding customer trust in recycling. So we, as a society, are desperately trying to find ways to do something with hard-to-recycle products, and we've heard a lot about that over the last few days. And because a lot of it is, can we just do something with it? The next step of whether we should be doing that is somewhat not being asked enough, and we're seeing lots of non-fit-for-purpose products being made. For example, rubber crumb. So we have 48 million tyres in Australia coming to end of life every year, and we're desperately trying to find something to do with them. Our research has shown through our Reef Clean program along the Great Barrier Reef that rubber crumb being made into soft floor play areas is definitely not fit for purpose, and we've seen up to 9.6 million pieces of rubber crumb escaping from the first 4 metres of play area. And some of this loss is occurring within weeks of installation, and we would very much say that this is not a fit-for-purpose product for recycled tyres. We also know that there's research being done by UQ, have identified a particular type of chemical from tyre rubber called 6-ppd quinine. And that was being found in a Brisbane river for the first time last year. It's the same chemical that was associated with a 90% coho salmon kill in Canada coming from roads, from tyres. So we would argue that the R&D hasn't been identified for a suitable pollution, and we need to stop crumbing this stuff and sticking it back out into the environment. This is clearly an example of just because we can, we shouldn't. The other one is around ocean-bound plastic and ocean plastic. So most consumers would think that if you had a product made from ocean plastic, that it was actually made from plastic picked up from the ocean. Well, not quite. So industry has defined this plastic as any plastic that has been recovered within the first 50 kilometres of the coastline. So if you were standing on Bondi Beach, you could claim you were collecting ocean plastic if you were standing in Penrith doing a clean-up. And recently the ACCC found that 57% of brands reviewed as part of a greenwashing internet sweep made misleading claims about their products. So as part of our work with the Environmental Defenders Office, we submitted a greenwashing complaint to the ACCC at the end of 2022, and we had our first outcome at the end of 2023, which resulted in a court-enforceable undertaking against Moo Premium Foods for making misleading claims in their marketing and their branding. So not only is it not chemically possible to make food-grade products out of plastic recovered from the ocean because of the contaminants, this feedstock that they're using is all being recovered in third world countries, and that is doing absolutely nothing to support our Australian recycling industry at all. So if companies need to add asterisks all over their labelling to kind of clarify these one-line marketing claims, they are leading themselves wide open to greenwashing complaints. These misleading claims disadvantage companies which use credible sustainable marketing that just might not sound as sexy, and they erode the trust of consumers who are less likely to continue to purchase truly sustainable products, which normally also have a higher premium. And to finish off on a good news story, and taking into account all the previous slides, the AMD network has achieved some great outcomes in the last 12 months. After identifying a major gap in recycling for the recreational fishing industry, which is a massive industry in Australia, our Rig Recycle program has been rolled out in close to 100 tackle stores, fishing clubs and local councils for the collection of clean fishing line and braid, broken and unwanted tackle and hard plastic packaging such as fishing line spools for an innovative repair, reuse and then recycle program. To ensure clean material is collected, the Rig Recycle stations are hosted at partner locations, and this is different to the tangle bins that you find on a fishing jetty, which kind of everything gets shoved into, so you're not getting those clean streams. So in the last 12 months, industry partners have jumped on board, including Shimano and Tasline, with funding from Sustainability Victoria, the New South Wales Rec Fishing Trust, and the Australian Government's Reef Trust to establish 2 processing lines, one in Melbourne and one in Brisbane. Now, the success of this program had this really weird spin-off that happened at the end of last year, and we found ourselves at the Australian Open actually collecting tennis racket string, and we ended up with 84,000 metres from just that one event. So who knew that tennis and rec fishing could be aligned so well for a program like this? And this material is now being worked with some of our partners through R&D for new products to come within both of those industries. And just to note that all of the industry partners in the Rig Recycle program are all signatories of Operation Clean Sweep to ensure that best practice and general environmental duty are being met. So this showcases the value of the AMD network and collaborating, exploring new opportunities to develop nature positive outcomes. And we very much invite you to connect with us if you're interested in joining the AMD program. Thank you.